Hello guys, my name is Ballum. Welcome to my start of my walkthrough of the game Dragon Fable, the browser game located on dragonfable.com. It's a free-to-play game that I got into when I was in middle school or so, and then I've just come back and I've kept playing it over the years, and I thought since I played so much, I might as well do a walkthrough, playthrough on it, and just see how it goes. But Dragon Fable is a turn-based game. You start off by creating a player. You can choose a warrior, a rogue, or a mage, and I always like the warrior, so I started off with the warrior. Then you can customize his armor and his hair color, skin color, his armor tint, and things like that. But basically, Dragon Fable is set in kind of a medieval era, somewhere around that. And you start off the game, and your hero is right here on the edge of the cliff, and the dialogue you can always read in Dragon Fable, and you click to move on to the next screen of dialogue. The game does have some funny moments. Instead of hero is born, it changes it into a hero is bored, and it's just kind of a fun start to the game. It's a fun game to play, and I enjoy playing it all the time. But on this cliff, your hero is greeted by a dragon, and as you can see, if you were starting off the game, probably the first thing you wouldn't want to be fighting is a dragon, and your hero is obviously upset and prepares for the fight. But the dragon lowers its head, and you see a princess, a little red goblin type character, in a box that's on the dragon. The red little goblin introduces himself as Twilly, and then the princess follows him out with the box. It's called the Black Dragon box, and that's probably what I would refer it to as from here on out. But I only know that because I've played a great deal of this game. But the dragon here, well, think to itself. It can't speak, but it said. He thinks about how he wants to kill you, but the princess made him promise that he wouldn't, and then in about 30 or so levels, apparently we'll see him again and fight the dragon. And you start off with 10 bonus XP. To level up from level 1 to level 2, it's 20 XP, so you get your first 10 bonus XP right there. If you see that gold bag next to the tree on the first screen, run up to it and you get 20 gold. The gold is the currency in this game, as well as dragon coins. Dragon coins purchase rare weapons, but gold is your main currency, though you get from quests or helping out. The princess and Twilly rounded the corner, and they were attacked by a gorillafant, which is a gorilla in some cases. It's kind of like it's just a gorilla with kind of like a mammoth tusks, or yeah, pretty much mammoth tusks out of its nostrils. And it's a pretty easy fight. It is a level 1 beast. I don't think you fight them that much often, but right now you can only just choose the main attack weapon. You haven't leveled up to the point where you get any skills. And as I'm saying that, I'm leveling up to level 2, where I get my first 2 sets of skills, I think. But the princess thanks you, and then asks you to deliver a message to Captain Rawlith in the keep just north of there. You can see the castle on the screen, and then she'll chat with Twilly, and they'll both leave the screen. However, Twilly stays in your party if you offered the help fight the gorillafant, which is weird. So for the remainder of this video, Twilly will be in my party, and he will be helping me out with the battles. The first thing you want to do is go talk to Rawlith. We're only level 2, and you gotta be a level 3 before you can deliver the princess's message, or he will not listen to you, and he'll just turn you away until you turn level 3. So I train my stats. Each time you level up, you get 5 skill points, and you can spend them at Rawlith and or any other skill trainer, and they'll just level up your magicka, your health, your charisma, your luck, stuff like that. Just give you little bonuses. Go one screen to the left and talk to the knights there, and start Sir Jing's quest. This will get you a nice pair of it's a starter electric sword, and it will come in handy in the future when we leave this castle and go to the town of Falconreach, because in between Falconreach and Oaklore Keep is a Hydra, and the Hydra is very it's a very strong monster. It's a boss nonetheless, and it is very hard to kill at our level. We'd have to level grind forever, or we can just go and do this quest and get a electric weapon, because the Hydra is very weak against electric weapons, so you'll be able to kill it in 1 or 2 hits with the electric weapon. So that's very nice. The enemies on the screen aren't very hard, they're just numerous. They'll slowly wear you down in health and magicka. That is if you use your skill points, which you should. Yeah, your special abilities that you get as you level up, which you should. This first ability I'm doing, where there will be a speech bubble over my head, increases my critical hit chance for, I believe it's 5 turns. I think I have a 20% chance to get critical hits, which is very nice. You get a bonus weapon damage every 1 in 5 hits, and you get the attack on the same turn. So I think it's just, other than the cost of magicka, it's basically just a normal attack. But if you land a successful attack, you can do a double attack, which will allow you to attack twice, and then a triple attack, which is if you land the double attack successfully. One thing about the triple attack, though, is you'll still be able to do it even if the first of your 2 double attacks miss. So if I just missed there, but I hit the second one, totally killed him. But if it went back to me being able to fight, I would be able to do the triple attack because the last of my 2 double attacks hit, if that makes sense. But as I said, each monster here, they'll probably hit you at least once per turn, and it'll slowly wear down your health and magicka. But as you fight them, you'll get plenty of experience, and this is the perfect place to start off with leveling up, because as long as you're playing smart, odds are they aren't going to kill you. You'll level up and regain all your health and your magicka before they get anywhere close to that. As you can see, we're getting to the point where the enemies are slowing down, and we've basically killed them all, is what I'm trying to say. And it's really not that hard. I think I hit I think it's level 4 right now where I'm at. Once I got through them all, and I'm almost a level 5. When you get farther into the game, you'll start collecting various different elemental weapons. Like electric is one of the weapons we're going for right now to get through the first boss. But some enemies are weak to fire, weak to water, weak to electricity, like the Hydra we'll be fighting here soon. So it's good to keep a stash of elemental weapons on you for those enemies that take extra damage from them. And the ability I used here, I think you get at level 3 or 4, but it's defend. It increases your defense rate. You get much defense points and extra chance to block attacks for, I think it's 2 or 3 turns, I forget. But it came in handy as the first two attacks here I blocked, and then he hit me on the last time. But these last 3 elementals you have to fight, one's water, one's electric, and one's wind. They're kind of like sub-bosses for them. They're pretty much the same as the infantry guys that we fought out front, except I think they do a little bit more damage, and they definitely have more health, and they're higher level. But as I said, it's pretty hard to play through this mission and die, because you'll level up in time to regain all your health and magicka if you're playing through this as a level 1, of course. And you have 2 mana potions and 2 health potions that heal 100 health each. As you can see, I just used one for my mana. And I just gained a level 5 ability, which is stun, and I used that on this enemy, and they're stunned. They will not be able to attack for the next 3 turns, and if I remember correctly, I don't believe they got an attack in at all during this entire battle, because I killed them so quickly. Yep, there they go. So after the mission's done, if you went and did this straight after the prologue, you should be around a level 5. If you open the chest, you'll have an electric staff, dagger, and sword. They're all worth 0 gold, so you can buy them all if you want, but there's no point to. You should just buy the one that's associated with your class. If you're a warrior like myself, you go with the sword. If you're a rogue, you go with the daggers, and if you're a mage, you go with the staff. And ran into the medical area right there to refill on my health and refill on my potions. And then I went and talked to Sir Vallence. Sir Vallence is another guy to start off that gets you a good amount of experience in a short amount of time and a good amount of gold. This is a good area to gold farm because the quests are really quick because the enemies are really easy. But I'm gonna go down. I only get through about half the missions on this episode, and I'll do the last half and his like training camp area in the next video. But this area is called the Treefort. No, I think it's called the Forest. My bad. But it's pretty simple. You just fight through, and you navigate the forest, and you'll come across goblins or seed spitters, which are some sort of mutant plant, and you'll fight through them for the mission. Sometimes you'll come across groups of 3 Sneevils, which are, I call them Sneevils because that's what the game has named them. But they're essentially goblins. That's all they really are. They're goblins with daggers that are low in health, but they they pack quite a punch. They don't damage you a lot, but strength in numbers, they'll slowly whittle down your health and not kill you. I don't think I died once in any of these this video today, but they do a lot of damage. And this time I played it smart. I used the defense ability that gives me an extra chance to dodge attacks, and dodged the first guy's attack. The second guy hit me, and then blocked the third guy's attack. So it paid off. I killed the first Sneevil, and what you want to do is, if you have Twilly in your party, is he can do 1 to 4 damage per turn. So you kind of want him to solo one of the goblins by yourself in the groups of 3 and take out the other 3. If you just take the one he's attacking with you, you'll end up just having to kill all of them, and there will be 1 extra turn where a goblin can hit you 1 more time than is needed if you just let Twilly fight him pretty much that one all throughout the battle. But I went up and fought out all the enemies in the forest. If you went down in that little like sideways T area, you can get straight here towards the end of the forest mission, and there's a group of 3 goblins. Not really a boss by any means at all. It's just a normal group of goblins that a normal group of 3 goblins that you saw before. But after you finish that, you'll get a weapon drop of swords, and that's it. That's the end of that quest, and you move on to the next one down the quest line. If you see that 2 scrolls on in the bottom middle of the screen, whenever you get back to the castle after you complete a quest, you always want to open that up and click the health and potions, or maybe it's just healing. I don't know what the button is, but it refills your health and it refills your potions. And it's a nifty little thing, but you can only use it when you're not in a quest. You can't just obviously go around refilling your health and potions in the middle of a quest. It'd make the game null and void and no fun to play. But after you sorry, I lost my train of thought. After you finish a quest, you just want to heal up on your health and potions. Not that these are hard enemies by any means, it's just a smart thing to do, because you don't want to, even though you could probably finish any of these quests with about half your health at this level, it's just smart to go in there with full health and be safe and not, the game gives you the option to heal, you might as well take it. Don't pass it by. It's just a smart thing to do, and it's a good habit to build for a future quest where the enemies get harder than these little goblins. You'll notice I'm using the shock sword that I got, even though we're not fighting the Hydra. I think it's a level 2 or level 3 weapon, and because of that, it is stronger than your default weapon, so it is the better weapon to use in this area. At the start of the game, of course, it's a level 2 weapon, we're a level 5. You can go to the store and buy stronger weapons, but there's really no point because you'll move on quite quickly. You'll advance through the levels quickly enough to the point where you won't need any use of buying weapons. You can mostly use the weapons in the game that you'll use or you'll find from drops in the quests that you do. But I tried stunning this Sneevil Boxer, and then Twilly nearly killed him. So I can focus on the second guy here, and I think I killed him with this double. Nope, I almost did. And yep, Twilly finished him off. And this last guy only has 1 health, so it's an easy kill. And then you move on. Some of the goblins up in this upper area will be higher level goblins, and they'll have more than just 5 health like the normal ones. If you find them, if you find them in a pair, just use your defense ability to have an extra chance of blocking their attacks. Or if you have a level 1 goblin that only has 5 health, and a level 4 which has maybe a 20, 25, oh wait, no, 27 or so health, just stun them or use your defense ability, whatever is your cup of tea. The defense ability blocks has an increased chance to work on all enemies, while but that's the thing, it has a chance to work. It's not a guarantee to always block attacks, but the stun is a guarantee to stun enemies in this game, unless they have an effect on them that blocks stuns. But we don't have to worry about that right now. That's something we'll get into later on in the game. But the Treefort quest is pretty easy. You start off right outside the tree house, and you move up the ladders. Then you come across this area where we are now. To get through the door you saw in the middle area by the healing little circle, you have to learn the password and the secret knock. So you go down the right side of the area to learn, I think it's the password. Yep, you discover the password. And then you go down the left side of the area to go to the knock. You do need both of them to be able to go through that door. If you go to the password and then try the door, you'll say the password and they're like, yep, that's the correct password, now do the knock. And you're like, oh, I'll be right back. And you won't be able to get in until you fight through all the enemies. Not a problem, because there's a healing stand right there in the middle of the screen, and you can always retreat back there to get full health and do whatever you need to do. At a level 6 here, you gain an ability that's called Multi, and it's a ability that hits all enemies on the screen. So for those groups of 2 or 3 goblins that you've been seeing, you can use that ability and it'll throw daggers at all 3 of them. They're around the same amount of damage that your weapon does, so it's not a guaranteed insta-kill, but you can see I used it here, and I got one of them, but the other one was still alive and hit me once. So very useful ability, definitely one of my favorites with the warrior class, and that's why I chose it as my starter. But like I said, Sir Vallence's questline at the very start of the game, it's just for early experience grinding and getting you a good sum of gold to start off the game, and then you can move on to the harder quests that you'll get in Falcon Reach, and move on to the first of, I think right now there's 3 campaigns in Dragon Fable. The first one's I think it's the Orb Saga. I think that might be the second one, actually. The first thing we're going to do, though, is the Black Dragon box that you saw the princess carrying. The first storyline, I guess, is all around that and what's inside it and how that affects the hero, and you'll learn much more about that throughout the game. But as soon as you enter the door, once you get both the password and the knock, of course the goblins are surprised that you managed to figure out how to get inside their door, by learning their password and knock. It wasn't heavily guarded, but for some reason there was 3 goblins in the room when you attacked, but when you go up to any of them to start the battle, you only fight 2, and then they're all gone. So head up the ladder and you fight through the rest. And I believe at this point it's not that far until you complete this quest line. We only got about 2 minutes or so left in the video, and right now, just as a recap, we've did the prologue with a hero who's bored with his starter mission with the Gorillafant and the princess, and got Twilly as a companion, although he won't be a companion in my next episode. But I might get to Falcon Reach in part 2. I'm not sure yet. But if I do, I'll be sure to show you where you can get Twilio's companion. And if I don't get to that in part 2, I definitely will in part 3. But I believe this guy's the boss. Yep. And after you complete that fight, the quest ends. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. But after you complete that quest, you can move on to the Ninja Dojo, which is the third quest in his storyline. I did not, however, because it was hitting around the 20-minute mark, and that's around the length that I want to keep the videos. And so I went back to increasing skill points. I noticed around this point that I had not put any points towards my charisma, and I didn't notice that until I actually had clicked train and spent my gold to train those skill points. And I'll actually bring up my character menu here in a sec, and you can see that charisma is at 0, and I just now figured out why. So when I level up again, I'll be sure to spend those 5 skill points on leveling up charisma, because it is definitely a ability that you'll want to level up. And here, this is just me trying to go undo those skill points to put some on charisma, but once you hit train and spend the gold, you can't do it anymore. So that's the end of the video, guys. Hope you like it. Don't forget to hit the like button, and if you have any questions, leave a comment in the comment section below. And thanks for watching, guys. That's it. Later.